Casey Freelove alongside Dave Rosenthal. Yes, tonight our 50th broadcast as a play-by-play team tonight. The Placer Hillman against the Ponderosa Bruins, and we are just about ready to go. The Hillman won the toss and deferred to the second half. Tonight's captains for the Placer Hillman, wearing number 30 in honor of Trevor Keller, Chandler Dakin, number 64, Blake Bachman, of course, number 56, Austin Mader, and wearing number 20 in honor of Jared Gaches is Chandler Dakin. Placer ready to go, Rhodey ready to tee it up. Ponderosa is in white uniforms with forest green numbers and silver helmets.
Like the look.
Placer out here tonight in their green pants with gold numbers and the green and gold helmets. Zach ready to tee it up, and we are underway. Friday night football in the foothills. Ponderosa moving from left to right. The ball is fielded at the 10-yard line, taken out across the 20, 25, still driving his legs out near the 30. Is number 23 for Ponderosa. That's Adam Schumann. So Ponderosa will have the ball first and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Again, moving from left to right here in the first quarter. As we get going, Dave, a very emotional night here on the Hill as they paid tribute to their fallen teammates, Jared Gaches and Trevor Keller, who we know a lot about. We've been honored to be a part of their foundation, basically.
Yeah, helping the foundation raise money for scholarships for kids that want to come up through the Hillman program to play football. It's an awesome thing, and the parents really put it together. Wonderful, wonderful tribute to those two young men.
Okay, ready to go. Elijah Henderson is the quarterback in the pistol to start this thing. They've got a bunch look up top, single back to the left of Henderson, who scrambles to the far side, looking to throw it out there. And the pass is well incomplete of his intended target, number 3, Ty Uber. Second down and 10 upcoming for Ponderosa.
Not since John Hadel wearing 21 or maybe Doug Flutie wearing 22 have I seen a quarterback with this high of a number on his back at 34. It's crazy.
It is crazy. A number 3-4.
And didn't Heath Schuler at Tennessee, didn't he wear 21 or something like that too?
Yeah, Heath Schuler did wear a high number. Now we'll set the Hillman defense here. Chandler Dakin's wearing number 20, as I mentioned, in honor of his fallen teammate. You got Micah Yoakum there on the line. Jesus Castillo and Colton McElroy, defensive tackles. Awaiting the snap and ready to go here is the quarterback. Throws it out to the near side, and a little too much mustard on that pass. This time intended for number 5, Joe Gauthier, and it will bring up a third down and 10. Good pressure by the Hillman D.
Oh, yeah. Dakin got the corner that time and was flying in there. And you can tell that this young man playing quarterback is probably more of a runner than a passer, just judging from the first two throws. One was a little bit short. That one was a little bit up over the top. But it won't stop Pondo from trying to do what they're going to try to get the pass game going. They've seen that the Hillman have been susceptible to pass games. I think that's what they're going to try for early.
All right, third down and 10. Again, back in that pistol is Jackson. He's going to pitch it now this time, and it's a weak pitch, but caught by running back Colin Taylor. Not much doing. He gets himself a 2-yard gain. Does number 12, but that's going to bring up fourth down and 8, and it's punt time already. I didn't get a chance to set the defense. Starting tonight in place of Andrew Garza, number 53, Zarin Fuller at one of the outside linebackers. Chase Laguana Scott, your middle backer, and of course Brad Bishop out there as well. Carson Espadella at DB along with Jesse Wiggum. Safeties Ian House and Jorge Maldonado, who I had the great pleasure of talking with this week on KAHI Radio.
Kid. Really enjoyed that interview.
I really enjoyed all three of those kids we had in studio. We'll talk more about it as we get going, but they are ready to punt here. And it looks like Jackson will handle the punting duties, kind of like Mittmeyer did last week for the Oakmont Vikings. Dakin awaits the ball back at his own 32-yard line. It's a fake. And now it's going to be a rugby-style punt. Goes end over end. Dakin calling for the fair catch. Looked like he might have been interfered with, but he does take it down at the 37-yard line. So 10:54 left here in the first quarter of play. Placer taking over at their own 37-yard line, moving from right to left. And we'll set the offense here as they get ready to go. You know how fast these kids go, though. It's going to take a play or two before we get everybody mentioned. Michael Stuck, the quarterback. You've got Hans Grossman in there at fullback. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Wiggum in at running back in Marshall Chapman's stead. You've got Bishop and Grossman in the background right now. Handed off to Bradley coming around the near side. Good block by Hans, but a nice jersey grab. And then Brad continues battling his way up towards the 42-yard line. So a 5-yard gain there for Brad Bishop on first down, getting the first carry of the game. And now setting the offensive line, Blake Bachman, Austin Mader, Kyle Christensen, Colton McElroy, and Big Joey Capra from left to right on the line. Cyrus O'Neal, tonight's starting wide receiver. And as I mentioned, Jesse Wiggum in place of Marshall Chapman. He's not playing tonight, folks. He needs to rest up a little bit. He's just fine, and he will be back as this team continues to move towards the playoffs. Second down and 5, Stuck with a 3-step drop. Guns it out to the far side, caught by O'Neal. Looking to push out for the first down. He may be a half-yard shy. They're going to mark him down up at the 48-yard line. He needed to get to the other side of the 48 Dave for the first. I think it's going to be third short upcoming, so we'll give him 5 on that.
We're going to give him a quick 5. It was just a quick out. He just ran up to the sideline. Mike hit him right in stride. He didn't get to turn it up the field. Good defense that time by the Pondos kids. the Bruins. I'm going to have a hard time with that tonight.
You got to imagine they don't have a tiny roster, but they will have some two-way players. We'll get to that in a moment. Here's the handoff, and driving forward for the first down and into Bruins territory is Hans Grossman, taking it down to the 46-yard line. So a gain of 6 for Hans on his first carry of the game.
Yeah, Hans last week, the whole first string to me, I don't know what it was. Yeah, they got out early on Oakmont. Yeah, they got the big lead at the half, but it just didn't seem like the same Hillman team we've watched at home or even watched against Rio Linda. And you got to expect maybe a little bit of a letdown from that Rio Linda game.
Split backs behind Stuck. Here's a fake handoff to Grossman. Now coming to Brad Bishop around the near side with blockers out there. Bradley able to pick up a few yards and more, taking it inside the 40-yard line and finally tackled out of bounds by number 10, Isaac Perez, but not until he takes it down to the 38-yard line. So a gain of 8 yards for Bishop, bringing up a very manageable 2nd and 2.
Yeah, the fake worked really well when Brad came around the corner there. He had a couple of guys out front. Probably could have got a better block there. I would think it was Mater that was out there that might have, it was Mater that just didn't stay on his man enough.
Once again, same split back look, handed off to Hans Grossman, going over left guard. First down and more, driving 3 defenders back 2 yards and taking it down to the 33-yard line does Hans. A 5-yard gain for the Hillman and another first down. I neglected to mention at the open, Lewis Fudge, tonight's starting tight end. We're also going to see a lot of Chandler Dakin, who just replaced Lewis there.
Yeah, Lewis is one of those guys that was also held out, I think, a week ago for, just a little extra rest. These guys are really gearing up for the next couple of weeks. Once they get past this one, it's going to be fun time.
Check that, a 2 tight end look with Dakin and Fudge in there. This time handed off to Wiggum.
Wiggy!
Breaks out to daylight. He's got room. 10-5. Touchdown, Hillman. Jesse Wiggum broke over Joey Capper's block at right tackle. It took it 33 yards into the end zone. 8:32 left here in the first quarter. Placer 6, Pondo nothing. Great running by my partner's new favorite player.
Not new. I've loved this kid all season long. The Wigger. Wiggy, man. He just got wiggy with it, found that hole, and just sprinted. So, the plan. Maybe sitting down, but we got a different plan tonight.
Now, I want to clarify on Zach Rody because I spent a lot of time on Max Preps this week. If he makes his PAT, which he does, that is his 58th make on 60 tries for the season.
58 out of 60? I thought he was 60.
Earlier in the season, Cyrus O'Neal had 6 for 6 at the beginning of the season. So our score 7-0. That score brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. Thanks to owner Christopher Kirshner for sponsoring high school football on KAHI. We'll be right back.
This is Cyrus O'Neal, class of 2019 wide receiver, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Ready to go here. Zach Rody tees it up, and this one is going to be fielded by number 23, Adam Schumann, at his own 4-yard line, coming across the 5, 10, 15, out across the 20, and trying to find that far sideline. It does. Pushed out of bounds by Rody, out across the 35-yard line. So good starting field position for Ponderosa, trailing 7-0. They will take over at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. That kickoff is all kickoffs brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Thank you, owners Ken and Katie Osborne, for sponsoring Placer Hillman football on the Voice of the Foothills.
Hey, that touchdown drive, 6 plays, 63 yards, took 2:22 on the clock before they ran it in from 33 out with Jesse Wiggum. So the Hillman getting going early.
Jackson back there in the pistol, single back flank to his right. Now they're going to motion the slot back and hand it off to number 5, looking to find some room. Wiggum missed the tackle, but picking him up is Micah Yoakum. So a decent gainer, though. A 5-yard gain for Gautier. Is that what we're going with, Dave?
Gautier.
All right, Joe Gautier takes it up for 5 to the 40-yard line of the Bruins. 2nd down and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, Jesse did his job on that play, though. He got to the outside and then turned the running back in. So he held the edge, forced him back in to where the linebackers could come back up and get him. And Jesse comes out of the game. Looks like he might have an equipment issue or maybe a little bit blood on the elbow. Ryan Arnell.
Arnell in there. He's played plenty of safety this year as well. Now under center for the first time tonight is Jackson. 2 backs behind. And he's going to fake it to the back now. Roll to the far side. Tosses it down there. Bad throw intended for Gautier. He had nothing on that, Dave. That ball just fell to the grass. Just a wobbler.
I'm going to go out and say, if you've got a kid that's not a natural quarterback, I'm not liking the idea that they're rolling him away from his throwing side. They're rolling him left, making him have to come back across his body, which is awkward for anybody.
Pros have trouble doing that.
Thank you. Let alone somebody who isn't a natural quarterback. You'd think more than likely they'd run it the other way and come this way.
Wiggum checks back in, so apparently it was just an equipment or blood issue. He's fine. 3rd down and 5 upcoming. Ball at the 40-yard line of the Bruins, right there in the center of the field with Ponderosa moving from left to right. So we'll see if the Hillman D can stop Ponderosa once again here on their 2nd attempt of the night here on 3rd down. Back again in the pistol is Jackson. He's going to kind of stand there, throw it out to the far side. Catch is made to Gautier, and he takes it up near midfield, pushed out at the 48-yard line. 8-yard gain there for number 5, and a good ball that time, Dave. They didn't roll him, so he had time to kind of set his feet and toss it out there.
Yeah, they didn't give him much pressure that time. They let him stand back and take a look, and he did find the running back out in the flat, and that's what they like to do. I was watching the junior varsity, and the other thing they'll do is they'll double level their receivers. They'll have a receiver run an out pattern, let's say from where they are now out to the 40, but they'll sneak another guy in at about the 45, so we'll have a couple of options there. Let's keep an eye on that to see if they're going to continue that trend in the varsity game.
Trips to the near side. It's going to be a straight ahead handoff. The Hillman defense is up to the challenge. About 6 Placer players in on the tackle. It will be a gain of 1 yard for number 12. That's Colin Taylor, the running back. So he takes it up to the 49-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9 with 7:20 here remaining in the first quarter. Placer out to that 7-0 lead.
Great sponsors on KAHI each and every week, including Matt Spokley for Auburn City Council, Mackey Heating and Air, Auburn Ford Specialties and Sports, and River Valley Community Bank. We thank all of you for your support.
So now they've got a double slot look. Jackson back there in the pistol, single back to his right, takes a 3-step drop, still looking, throws it downfield. Got it to his intended receiver. Nice grab there by number 9. Who I don't have listed here. Let's get that Jordan Iodence that is, and he takes it from his own 49 all the way down to the Hillman 28-yard line. So a gain of 19 for Jordan Iodence on his first reception of the night.
Yeah, a little pump fake that time, as a matter of fact, by Elijah Henderson. Kind of gave it a little arm pump fake and then went up the sideline. I think that might have frozen the safety. There was no double coverage, and actually I don't think that the defensive back got out there with him. Safety had to come over and finally push him out.
Well, they put it down to the 27, so give him an extra yard on that one. Gain of 20. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Again, 3-step drop for Jackson, now scrambling. And here comes Jesus Castillo. Got an arm on him. Jackson still scrambles away from it. Rolling to the near side, being chased by McElroy. Guns it downfield where it falls incomplete. Boy, I thought for all the world that Castillo was going to drag him to the grass there. Good job of athleticism by the QB.
Yeah, very good job of athleticism. Good escapability that time as he spun and got away. You know, I hope it wasn't that situation like in the NFL last week where he had the quarterback. Well, I let him go because I thought they were going to call a penalty on him.
No, is that do we call that the Brady rule? Don't we already have a Brady rule that you hate?
We have a tuck rule that we don't like. Now we have the don't tackle Brady rule. Yeah.
So 2nd down and 10. Clock stops on the incompletion. Ponderosa at the Placer 27-yard line. Ball on the far hash. Jackson breaks the huddle. He's got a back to his right and a back a little deeper behind him. They'll hand it to the up back Gautier, and Micah Yoakum there to greet him. Clean it up with Zarin Fuller. Nice job there. That's going to be a loss of 1 yard back to the 28-yard line. Good job of Hillman D. Swarming right there on Mr. Gautier.
Well, it's going to bring up that 3rd and long, and they're probably in 4th and go territory down here. Didn't really get a chance to see if the place kicker had any kind of range. But as you know, and we've talked about it all season long, you have to score points when you have the football because the Hillman definitely will. It was odd to see Oakmont go for that 3 early last week.
3rd and 11 now they'll call it back at the 28-yard line. Gautier in the pistol, single back behind. Now he's going to motion a slot receiver.
Hillman showing blitz.
Hillman are showing blitz, and it's going to be a fake handoff kept by Jackson. Not much doing there. Chandler Dakin in on the tackle as well as Jesus Castillo. They do give him down to the 28-yard line. So that'll be a no-gainer, and it'll be 4th down. And again, Jackson is the quarterback and the kicker. I have no idea what his range is, but we'll find out.
Well, I think they're going for it here.
Yeah.
They're not going to try to pooch punt it down. It's a little too close for that. You don't make it here. You give the Hillman decent field position, but it's not like giving them the ball at midfield.
It would be a 45-yard attempt if they went for it, and they're not going to. They will instead line up to go for it. 2 receivers to the near side. Jackson back there in the pistol. Placer bringing pressure. Jackson gets it out there and dropped. That would have been a 1st down, but a drop. Boy, you won't see a much easier ball tonight. Number 3 there for Ponderosa. Ty Uber unable to make the catch. Hillman take over, and again, bend, don't break. Last week, Oakmont had, if I'm not mistaken, 4 turnovers on downs against this Placer D. And, you know, you can let them go on the other side of the 50, just don't let them get in the end zone.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, we count the number of stops, and usually 2 to 3 stops by the Placer defense is good enough for a Placer win because nobody seems to be able to stop this Placer offense. We'll see how they do on their second go-around here.
All right, so they are showing a 3-man front with pressure now, and now Stuck's going to fake it, pull it down to throw it out here to the near side where he's got O'Neal. He's got the catch, taking it into Bruins territory. Oh, needs one more man to beat. Oh, and he's dragged down all the way down at the 14-yard line is Cyrus O'Neal. Boy, a huge gainer there, 36 plus 22 equals 58 yards for Mr. Cyrus O'Neal. Great throw by Michael, and a good job of athleticism by, as his teammates describe him, the most athletic player on the team.
Well, and it's pretty impressive. You had him on just yesterday, I think it was, and he was talking about that soccer style thing that he does. He leaves practice and goes right to soccer practice.
That he does. All right, here's a handoff. Brad Bishop going over the left side and finding some room, taking it inside the 5-yard line. And now we've got, looked like a penalty flag. I got confused by the pink towels. We saw so much pink last week. That'll be a big gainer for Bishop down to the 3-yard line. So a gain of 11 yards and another Hillman first down. First and goal upcoming.
Now the Hillmen are on a roll again, as usual.
Ponderosa stacking the box, as we saw Oakmont attempt to do with really no success in the first half last week. Don't forget that final score was 42-20 or 45-20, but it was 35-zip. Handed off to Grossman, going over the left side, into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman! Hans Grossman taking it over left guard and into the end zone. Nobody's going to stop that young man. 13-0. Placer are scored. 4:36 left here in the first quarter. This precision offense picking up where they left off last week.
Yeah, and you've got to score on them. You cannot come down the field, get as close as Pondo did, and come away with nothing because, as you saw in just a quick 3 plays, the Hillmen are on the board again.
Okay, so Dakin with the hold, Christensen with a good snap, and Rhodey once again splits the uprights. 4:36 left in the first quarter. Our score, Placer 14, Ponderosa nothing. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in Auburn. Thank you, Christopher Kirchner, for sponsoring high school football here on KAHI. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
This is Jorge Maldonado, class of 2019, cornerback. You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
14-0 our score, 4:36 left here in the first quarter. Placer picking up where they left off last week. This kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. Need a trophy, fantasy football player, all the way down to team awards. Check out auburntrophies.com. Rhodey's ready to tee it up, and back deep for Ponderosa, the same return man. That is number 23, Adam Schumann, joined by Gautier. This one's going to come to Schumann, fielded at his 14-yard line, out across the 20, cuts to the center of the field. Continuing to push up past the 30, 35, needs to make a cut, does, to the 40, and finally thrown out of bounds by Zach Rhodey all the way up at the 45-yard line. Really good return, make it the 46-yard line. So Ponderosa will take over with 4:27 left here in the first quarter at their own 46-yard line, already trailing 14-0.
Well, we saw it late in the game last week, and again, we don't know if it was the first team special teams that gave up that long touchdown after the Rhodey field goal a week ago at Oakmont. But we've seen the Hillmen susceptible to some long gainers on kickoff returns this season, and tonight already a couple of them. That one was for the sake of a soccer-playing field goal kicker. That could have been gone to the distance.
Jackson ready to go. A back to his left, another back couple feet behind. Jackson again is going to roll to the left side, which is not his natural side. Guns it out there. And the ball was dropped. Intended.
It looks like number 8.
Yeah,
Trevor Monroe.
Intended for number 8, Trevor Monroe. If it takes us a minute to get these players down, folks, again, I don't like to complain, but you do these kids a real disservice when the coaches do not put their stats on maxpreps.com. There is no information about Ponderosa football available for anybody attending the game. They have nothing written up about them on Google unless it was written by the opposing paper. So we're getting to know them as well as you are. And this late in the season, it makes it quite difficult because we like to give you stats on pretty much every play if we can. Second down and 10 upcoming. Ball at the 46-yard line for Ponderosa, moving from left to right. Jackson ready to go with 2 receivers up top. Single back to his left. He's in the pistol. Waits the snap. He continues to roll to that far side. Going to throw it out there. Intercepted by the Hillmen. With room. Let's see if he can cut it back. Placer moving inside the 25 and all the way down to the 20-yard line. The ball intercepted by
number 30.
Ian House.
Wearing 30 tonight. Talk about a tribute to your fallen teammate. Let's pick one off and take it almost the distance.
Absolutely. Well done there by Ian House, picking it off in Bruin territory and rumbling back to the Placer 23-yard line. As we mentioned, House and Dakin wearing the jerseys to honor their fallen teammates Trevor Keller and Jared Gages. And they had a nice tribute before the game with their parents as well. So Placer back in business at the 23, split backs behind Stuck, handed off to Grossman, barrels over a defender. It takes 3 Bruins to bring him down at the 16-yard line. So a gain of 7 for Hans there on first down.
Got to change my roster here. I forgot to switch that over to 30 for Ian House. It surprised me. I knew it was one of the kids, but I just got confused for a moment.
Griffin in on the tackle. Second down and 3 upcoming for the Hillmen. Now Hans will take a brief respite as he comes to the sideline. Oh no, check that. That's going to be Dakin coming out of the game. He was that tight end. Grossman remains in there along with Bishop. Once again going to Hans. Grossman around the near side. He's got the edge. Takes it down to the 10-yard line. See if they give him the 9. No, they put it down at the 10. So a gain of 6 for Hans and another first down for these Placer Hillmen. Good job of hard running there again, David. You know, he's so big, you forget about how fast he is. He found the edge with the quickness.
Yeah, and it's really surprising because usually he runs between the tackles, and that time he went for the outside and actually turned on a little burst spike. Once again, it almost looks like these guys have to jump on him and pull him down like they're, steer wrestling.
Stuck's going to fake it to Bishop, give it to Wiggum, going over
Guess
the right
what?
side. He's got plenty of room, pushes his way in, spin, touchdown, Hillman, Jesse Wiggum. Going from 10 yards out and a little spin at the end to make it look prettier. Placer extending this lead to 20-0. We still got 3:15 left here in the first quarter of play. Great run there, Dave, and a great fake set that whole thing up.
Well, it's that inside reverse. They fake it and they bring it back the other way, and we've seen Marshall score on that plenty this year. And once you see that hole open up, I still think you and I might even be able to run through a hole with that wide.
Good snap by Christensen. Dakin puts it down. Rhodey splits the uprights. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave. Check him out on Facebook. Thank you, Christopher Kirshner, for sponsoring high school football. 21-0 Placer. 3:15 left in the first quarter here on KAHI. Here's Rhodey with the kick. Gautier and Schumann back deep. This one, once again, is going to come to Schumann. Fielded at his 7-yard line. Take it out across the 10, 20. And then met by the Hillman special teams there. A couple of good tackles by some of our backup backs. Drew Vincent in on that tackle along with Jacob Mason. Ponderosa takes over, trailing 21-0 with 3:09 left here in the first quarter. The ball will be placed down at the 25-yard line.
Well, let's see if Pondo's offense can get it going. They've had a little bit of positive yardage on some of these rollouts. I'm not really enjoying the rollout to the far side of the field to the quarterback's left, but if he stands in the pocket and or runs the football, he seems to do a little bit better than throwing it out that way on the run.
They're showing that same look with the back to the left of the quarterback, Jackson. They're going to hand it off to number 12, and he's met in the backfield.
No, he's not.
Remember what? He kept it. The quarterback faked us all out and goes for a mile. My goodness, driving it out across midfield, inside the 45-40, and all the way down inside the 35 to the Placer 34-yard line. My goodness, Dave. That's going to be a 41-yard fake. That's the kind of fake that used to get us with this wing T. Good job by Jackson on that.
Yeah, he did. It was another one of those fakes out of the pistol where you put the ball in the belly of the running back and you keep it there as long as you can. That time when he pulled it out, he had everybody fake because everybody went with the ball, and all of a sudden, there goes Jackson right up the middle of the field for a long gainer on the Hillman defense.
So Ponderosa trying to make something happen here, trailing by 3 touchdowns, 2:51 left here in the first quarter. Now they'll move those backs around a little bit behind, actually one to the left and one to the right. And again, they continue to rotate them. Trying to figure it out here is Jackson. Now he'll motion the back to his left to the far side, pitch it out here on the option, and keeping it, taking it inside the 30 and put an elbow down as he goes out of bounds right at the 26-yard line is number 12, Colin Taylor with the run. So that's going to be a gain of 6 yards for number 12, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, they like that quick pitch out of that pistol formation, and they try to get the ball outside before the defense can stretch it out. That time Wiggum came over, hit him low, and pushed him toward the sideline, and then they knocked him out after a bit of a gain, though.
We'll get a chance to talk a lot about this Placer D, though, but Zarin Fuller in there for Andrew Garza. That kid has been playing out of his mind. 47 tackles on the season, and he will be a big part of this defense tonight. Here's the snap to Jackson. Again, rolling to that awkward left side. Throws it out there. This time the ball is caught and then driven out of bounds near first down territory.
It's Ty Uber.
Let's see if they give him the first down.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not. So it's going to be a gain of 4, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Well, they're in that 4th and go territory right now, so even if they don't get it here, they will go on 4th down from the 25. They've got to get points on the board. They can't afford to get stopped again, especially the way the Placer offense is rolling. By the way, that last touchdown drive by Placer, 3 plays, 30 yards, 55 seconds.
Jackson on the quarterback keeper, pushing his way forward.
And Chase Laguna Scott's just pulling him from behind, saying, no, you can't go that far. Let me pull you backwards.
They're going to give him the first down, I think. He needs to get to the 24. We'll see where they spot it down.
Know.
Actually, that spot's back at the 25.
I don't think he made it.
I don't think
he's
he
a
did
half yard short.
Yep. So 4th down upcoming. And there was no, deception on that. They had an empty backfield. He was under center, and he just pushed his way forward. We'll see if he can do it again. He got a half yard on the last play. Did Jackson. See if he can't do it one more time.
Well, they got some beef up front for the Hillman right now, especially in the form of Jesus Castillo, their defensive tackle. He's wandering around out there saying, come on, guys, let's just put a stop to this right now.
All right, timeout called by the Bruins. We'll take it with them. 21-0 Placer, $1:17 left here in the first quarter on KAHI. Let's quickly give a shout out to the whole crew. We've got Brad Smith and Lila engineering for us here on site. Our field photographer, Thaddeus Tosti. Check out his pictures on KAHI. Just click the Placer helmet. I'm Casey Freelove. He's Dave Rosenthal. And we've got a 21-0 lead for Placer here. Tariq Ansari with us back at the studio. He's going to take you through halftime to keep you updated on a bunch of big games tonight, including the Pioneer Valley League Championship on the line with Colfax hosting Bear River. Here it's 4th and 1. Jackson's ready to go. Under center. We'll see if he just tries to push his way forward again. Barking a little bit, trying to get the Hillman to jump. And now Jackson does find a gap over the left guard and takes it down to the 24-yard line. So a gain of 1 and a first down for Ponderosa.
Hey, up at Nevada Union, the Miners trailing 14-0 to Lincoln already in the first quarter in that one. That's a huge game.
Make that a gain of 2 for Jackson, my mistake, but a good job of finding that little crease between the left guard and the center, picking up the first down. Ponderosa trailing 21-0 with a minute left here, breaking the huddle and ready to go. Yoakum in on that tackle. Jackson this time goes back up under center, 2 backs behind him. He's going to fake the handoff and now roll to the near side, which is natural side, throw it down towards the end zone. Too much mustard on that ball, intended for number 3. And it did not caught by Ty Uber. Good Hillman coverage as well. 2nd down 10. Yeah, a lot of big games tonight, Dave. I was saying on the air today on the KI Afternoon News, if I wasn't here, I might have traveled up to Colfax. Not only a beautiful stadium, they got the onion burgers.
Exactly.
They're very welcoming, and they've got 2 undefeated teams that are both going to go very deep in the section playoffs, in our opinion.
Yeah, that's going to be a smash mouth game tonight. I don't see that being any more than 3 points either way, just because that's what it was in the section championship game last year.
Second down and 4 upcoming, second down and 10 from the 24 upcoming. Now Jackson's going to pitch it on the option play. And this one's going to go to number 9.
Good open field tackle right there by the Hillmans, number 53. Yeah, that would be Evan Robinson coming up. Didn't get any of that shimmy and shake to let it get to him. He just wrapped up and dropped.
So Iodence picks up 2 yards there. Brought down by Fuller. And again, Iodence, Dave, checking these rosters, which needs some help. I know we called him out earlier. Give me a second here. He's number 9, Jordan Iodence for Ponderosa. All right, 3rd down and 8 upcoming as we tick down the end of the first quarter here. Now it's going to be a delayed handoff. And a good job, 3-man gang tackling by the Hillman. The ball went to number 12, Colin Taylor. And Taylor takes it from the 22 just down to the 21. And that's going to end our first quarter of play. Another successful first quarter here on the Hill in the Placer Hillman's regular season home finale, 21-0 here on KAHI Radio. 21-0 Placer, no problem on offense here. Their defense looking to stop Ponderosa almost in the red zone. Ponderosa has it with a 4th down and 8 from the Hillman 21-yard line. So another critical play here for this Hillman D. Jackson back there in the pistol, ready to go. Takes the 3-step drop, pressure coming. Going to throw it into the end zone for Uber, and he overthrows it by a mile. Sails out of the back of the end zone, and the Hillman defense holds once again. Placer back on offense, leading 21-0. You know, a lot of people in years past thought they could pick on the Hillman secondary. Everything about this D has been improved this year. The gang tackling, the quickness of the secondary, and the ability to kind of read the quarterback much better than in years past.
And the thing that we talked about almost the entire season last year, getting pressure on the quarterback. Now that time not so much, but he overthrew him. But at least Dakin and company are starting to put some pressure on, and that's going to become huge in the next few weeks.
So Hillman ready to go once again on offense. We have switched sides of the field, so Placer moving from left to right here in this second quarter. O'Neal, the single receiver, stuck under center with a rare empty backfield, handed off to
Jesse.
Wiggum, and Wiggum looks to make a cut. Great open field tackle there by number 24, Jake Lewallen, and it's going to be a no-gainer. So 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
Wow, so Jesse had touched the ball 2 times previous to that and gone 33 and 10 for touchdowns. That's his first time touching the ball and not getting a touchdown.
Wiggum last week, very impressive. Spelling Marshall Chapman in the second quarter, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns for this Hillman offense last week. 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Hans Grossman, the lone back. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Brad Bishop going to the left side. And Bradley breaking out, getting to the secondary and taking it all the way up to the 39-yard line. No, check that. We'll call it the 37-yard line. So a gain of 16 on a hard run by Brad Bishop, using the block of Blake Bachman to spring him. Good to see Blake back after an absence last week.
Yeah, and it's, again, that inside trap play when you just don't know where the ball is, and that's exactly what happened to the Pondo defense that time. They were looking outside. The ball was inside.
Fake it to Grossman, go back to Brad Bishop again, and Bishop breaks to the secondary again,
Nice
puts a
stiff arm.
stiff arm out there, takes it into Ponderosa territory, still running, towards the far sideline, 35-20, 15-10, 5. Dragged down from behind inside the 5-yard line, and it looked like a horse collar. Brad Bishop, a nice hard run all the way down to the 3-yard line. So that is going to be a 57-yard run for Bradley and a 1st and goal for the Hillmen. I'm surprised like you, Pard, they didn't throw the flag.
Yeah, and Brad's just showing off because his sister from Southern California is here for the game. His brother from Virginia is here for the game. And I think it was his grandpa that was in Florida last week watching or listening to the game on KAHI. All in attendance. Bradley's just showing off a little.
Well, maybe they can show him a touchdown. He's in the backfield. Handoff's going to Bradley, and he's going into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman! Brad Bishop taking it over left guard and in. Nobody touched him. Rewarded for that big 57-yard gasher that took him down there, and he puts it in to make it 27-0. All Hillman here in the 2nd quarter.
Wow, that was a 3-play drive as well. Actually, a 4-play drive.
4 plays to get it done. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way. Thank you, owner Christopher Kirshner, for sponsoring Placer football here on KAHI. Christensen will have the snap. It's a good snap. It's a good hold by Dakin. And Rhodey once again splits the uprights. 10:36 left here at Lefevre. It's 28-0 Placer on Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Iodens and Schumann back deep for Ponderosa. And then end over end kick, driving Schumann back into his end zone and sails through the end zone. So they'll take over 1st and 20. That kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More. Check them out at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Thank you, owners Ken and Katie Osborne, for sponsoring high school football here on KAHI.
Yeah, Brad Bishop now 5 carries for 97 yards in that touchdown.
Okay, and a note from our pal PA announcer Dan Wilson, Alex Bone is kicking as B-O-H-N, N or M? We got an M? B-O-H-N is kicking off for Placer tonight. He's a transfer. He sat out a lot of the games and actually hurt his name in the offseason. So Rhodey just kicking the extra points. They'll take it however they want it. Here's a quick gun out to the far side, and a nice job of catching the ball there by number 23, Adam Schumann, taking it from his own 20 up to the 28-yard line. Wiggum on the tackle, pushing him out of bounds. 8-yard gain there, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 8. Or 2nd down and 2, I mean.
There you go. 2nd down and 2.
We'll get more information on Bohm later because I did have him literally in my Outlook email noted that he was going to be eligible to play, but I just didn't figure to see him considering how well Zach Rhodey's kicked all year long on both kickoffs and extra points. I'm sure Rhodey will continue with the extra points. Here in the pistol is Jackson, handed off, going over the far side, not much doing there. Didn't need much, didn't get much. Did the running back, number 12, Taylor. And in fact, a no gainer.
Yeah, nothing on that one, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Now, you'll be curious if they stop them here, if they'll actually kick the football away, trailing 28-0 with approaching 9:30 on the clock here in quarter number 2.
Yoakum and Fuller in on the tackle. 3rd down and 2 upcoming with Ponderosa trailing 28-0. Ball at their own 28-yard line. Back in the pistol once again is Jackson. Single back flank to his right. 2 receivers here to the near side and 2 up top. It's going to be a fake handoff. Jackson will keep it, and he finds enough room for the 1st down and more. Being chased by that Hillman secondary, driving it up past the 45-yard line, all the way up to the 47. So a nifty gain of 19 yards there, and the tackle made by Ian House. So he took it all the way into the secondary there, Dave.
Yeah, he bested through under the outside, and that's what their offense is going to have to be. He's going to have to run the ball, and then he's going to have to play fake off of his own runs for them to be able to do much of anything tonight on offense.
Ball on the far hash. Jackson this time goes under center. Double slot look, single back behind, takes the 3-step drop. Pressure coming from Dakin. Now he eludes that pressure. Dakin gets back on him, though. Good job of following that play by Chandler. Now he did end up picking up a yard to the 49-yard line, but it could have been a lot more as Chandler ran past the play, caught his breath at his feet, turned right back around and made the tackle.
Yeah, nice diving tackle that time, wrapping him around the thighs, squeezing those big pythons around him and dropping him to the turf. Lucky he didn't lose the football on the way down. Of course, Chandler had that nice strip sack last week, the one that led Colton McElroy to rumble for the big touchdown for the Hillmen.
His first touchdown at any level, as we learned this week on our Thursdays on the Hill segment. Speaking with Colton in studio. Under center now is Jackson, 2 backs behind. It's going to be a handoff, and the Hillmen sniffed that out. Brad Bishop, the lead tackler on that play. It went again to number 12, Colin Taylor, and Taylor's going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, just a couple that time. So here we come with one of those big 3rd and 10s, and let's see what Jackson's going to do this time. Last time he escaped. His escapability allowed him to pick up some yards, but I think the Hillmen will be looking for it this time.
You know, we don't talk enough about what a luxury Placer has, being able to have the majority of their starters not have to play two ways. It keeps you fresh throughout the ball game.
Let's keep an eye on the linebackers this time, see how that D-line holds people up and if those backers come in and fill.
3rd down and 11. Jackson back there in the pistol, single back to his right.
Blitz.
They had trips to the top. Now the motion of the slot receiver. Fake it, throw it out to the far side. Catch is made. Approaching first down territory and able to pick up the first down out to the 40-yard line. Goes number 14, Jackson Hubert. Number 14.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
So what'd you give him on that?
14.
14. Yeah, they had the blitz on that time. The blitzing linebacker came in from the outside, got the hands up, but the ball went right between, like it was going between the uprights, and got out there to the running back in the flat. But the Hillmen had the good play dialed up, just didn't get there in time and did not knock that ball down.
All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Again, a back to each side of Jackson, who's back there in the pistol, and they'll call a timeout. So 28-0 Placer with the lead. Want to keep it here for a minute,
Sure.
Dave, and talk a little bit since we've got the first chance to catch our breath. Boy, these high school games go so fast, Dave. Hard to believe we're sitting here in the 9th game of the season in the newly found and excellent Foothill Valley League.
Yeah, and looking at the league standings, Placer comes in tonight 3-0, the only unbeaten team in league. Ponderosa, who had a great preseason, although when they got into league schedule, now 1-2. Big games tonight include that Rio Linda game tonight against Oakmont. That's 2-1 Rio Linda and 1-2 Oakmont, and of course Lincoln and Nevada Union. Earlier it was 14-0 NU on the short end there, and we had no score from Rio Linda last I checked. But yeah, this league, it's a newly formed league, but boy is it exciting, and we've seen just about everybody except Lincoln, and I really like the way that it's played out. You know, Placer, again this year, they've got a team for a decade, and they're running over people, but the rest of this league is very well balanced, and I think in the years to come it's going to be an exciting league to be part of.
1st and 10, ball at the 40-yard line of the Hillmen. Back there is Jackson. He's going to fake the handoff. Now pitch it out there on the option to Taylor.
Nice.
And Taylor's got room, taking it out towards daylight. He may go. Good blocking downfield. He does take it inside the 5-yard line. Doesn't score, but Taylor with a huge burst of speed. Good job at Jackson pitching it out there on the option, taking it from the 41-yard line all the way down to the 3. That's a 38-yard burst.
Yeah, and he led him with the pitch, which was a good thing. He got a good head of steam, and he caught that ball in front of him and just caught it in full stride. And there was nobody down the sideline to come up and make any kind of play on it.
Wow, hard run there, 38 yards. 1st and goal now for Ponderosa, trying to get on the board here, trailing 28-0 with 6:48 left in the second quarter. We'll see if Jackson maybe goes back under center this time, and he will. 2 backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff to Taylor, and Taylor's going to be able to put. No, he's not. What a great job by Jesse Wiggum, and cleaned up by Zarin Fuller over there on the far sideline. No gainer. 2nd and goal from the 2. Boy, Jesse came in from my periphery of the binoculars, and all of a sudden he filled up my entire eyesight.
Yeah, he slashed in there really nice from that safety / DB position. Read the play really nicely and came up and made the hit and got a little help from Zarin Fuller to drop him back maybe another half yard. I think they went backwards a yard on that play.
Well, they still got the ball spotted down at the 2-yard line, but we could say, yeah, loss of a half yard. 2nd down and goal upcoming. We'll see if they run a play like that again with Taylor, the trail back behind Jackson, another back to his left. Again, they hand it. No, they fake it. Now Jackson's going to be dragged down.
Short.
Good job of tackling there by Chandler Dakin. Cleaned up by Chase Laguana Scott. They will give him a yard, I believe, down to the 1. Let's see where they spot it down. It's going to be close. At the 1.
What I don't understand is why the sticks over there aren't showing where the ball is.
That's a great question, Bart.
Yeah, now they finally moved it, so it's like if you can see it, I can't see that far. Maybe the 1.5.
Yep. Yeah, basically the 1.5, the 1.25, if you will. Either way, 3rd down and goal upcoming here for the Hillmen. Jackson this time retreats back into the pistol. Here's the snap. Takes a 3-step drop, throws it into the end zone, and the ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Number 14 able to haul that in, Jackson Hubert, or Herbert Hubert, I guess we're going with here. He catches it for a 1-yard touchdown reception, and it puts Ponderosa on the board, trailing 28-6, extra point pending. Boy, I mean, they looked pretty good. I mean, I know it was a burst by Taylor that got him all the way down there, but of all the drives we've seen, clearly that was their best one, as indicated by the 6. I'm not saying anything you don't know.
They're not a low-scoring team. If you look at what they did in the preseason, they ran up some 50 burgers on some teams early. And that time, pretty good drive, and it was really aided by that long run on that quick pitch to the outside.
Gabe Lopez is the kicker, and the ball is blocked.
Wow. Blocked. I mean, 7-7 is all he saw was Colton McElroy. Colton just came in and said, "I am man, you are ball." And he just knocked that thing down. That was scary.
28-6 Placer, 5:15 left in the second quarter here on KAHI. All right, ready to rock here. 5:15 left in the second quarter. Placer leading 28-6. Here is the kick off of the leg of Lopez. And it's going to be fielded over there on the far side by O'Neal at his 10. Coming across the near side, working his way out to the 15. Looking to set up his blocks to the 20. Makes a cut back towards the center. Out to the 30. Dragging a defender with him all the way up to the 39-yard line is Cyrus O'Neal. They'll put him out at the 38. Great job of running there by Cyrus, taking it out for a 28-yard gain. Placer taking over with 5:05 left here in the second quarter and a 28-6 lead. And in that sweet spot, Dave, where if the drive could take a little long, they will get the ball in the second half as well.
Well, that's the way they like to work it. They like to have that ball last and then first in quarter number 3, and we'll see what happens here with 5:05 to go. And the Hillman offense, there's that double reverse to Bishop.
Bishop going out across the 40-45 and pushing his legs up near midfield. Great job of running there by Bradley. They'll put him down at the 48-yard line. I think he's right there at the line to gain.
Give it to him.
They will gain a 10 and a first down for the Hillman. By the way, that kickoff, as all kickoffs, were brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. Check them out online at auburntrophies.com.
6th carry of the night for Brad Bishop. He's already got 107 yards and that 3-yard touchdown run. So double B again. Whole family's in the stands, showing off a little bit.
Okay, so Placer now will show a 2-receiver look. Single back behind stuck is Grossman. Handed off to Hans coming across the near side. And Hans pushing his way forward and well into Ponderosa territory. Taking it from the Placer 48 down to the Pondo 35. So 17-yard gain by Grossman. And Dave, we see it week in and week out. Sometimes you feel almost bad when Hans puts that elbow up and somebody tries to tackle him. It doesn't work out well for the opponent.
No, it doesn't. They go home with some bruises on him, and as we've seen most of the season, by the time into the second quarter, like it is now, early into the third, if he gets to play, they get out of his way at that point.
All right, going
again.
quickly are the Hillmen. And once
There he
again,
goes.
Hans Grossman bursting into daylight. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Hillmen. Hans Grossman running with authority, quickness, power, speed. He's got it all, and he's giving Placer a 34-6 lead. Nice hard run there by Hans. Placer all over Ponderosa here in the second quarter.
Wow, that drive took 3 plays to go the 62 yards, and that's all it took was 3 of them.
3 it did. All right, so Rhodey will line up to kick yet another extra point. Nearly flawless this year. Not a great snap, and that one's going to sail just through the left upright to give Placer that 35-6 lead with 4:12 left here in the first half of play on Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
This is Hans Grossman, class of 2020 fullback, and you're listening to Friday Night Football on the Foothills on KAHI.
3 plays, 62 yards in 55 seconds. The aforespeaking Hans Grossman with the big run, the 35-yard touchdown run. Hillman 35-6 as we get ready for the kick, Bart.
All right, as we mentioned, we have a new eligible kicker here for Placer. And I know I wrote it down
Alex
here.
Bond.
Alex Bond. He's a transfer student, and we'll see what we saw him kick off before.
Whoa.
He's got a good leg, and he's going to drive it back to the 1-yard line as Ponderosa brings it out. And a great, just straight ahead tackle there by number 33, Drew Vincent, tackling Adam Schumann, putting Ponderosa at 1st and 10 with the ball going down right there at the 20 or the 19-yard line. They'll put it down, Dave.
So at their own 19, they'll start. They've got 4:06 on the clock. The biggest thing that could happen here is they've got to at least run this clock down to 0 and not give the ball back to Placer.
Yes, so
Because once again, we have not seen this Ponderosa defense stop the Hillman offense, much as we've seen really no one this entire season stop this offense.
I'm going to drop Jackson's middle name and use his last name from here on out. Elijah Henderson ready to go. 2 backs behind. Henderson this time under center, not using that pistol look. He's going to hand it off to Taylor, and Taylor's met by the entirety of the defensive line, able to pick up a yard out to the 20-yard line, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 9 as the clock ticks under 4 minutes left here in the first half.
Ponderosa's burned 2 of their timeouts in the first half. Placer has yet to use one, so if Joey really wants to, if he can get a stop here, he might think about getting some timeouts and maybe getting this ball back one more time with at least a couple minutes on the clock. Looking at the scoring drives today, 2:22, 1:30, 55 seconds, 1:14, and another 55-second drive. So really it doesn't take a whole lot of time.
2nd down and 9 upcoming. Henderson again back there in the pistol with Taylor flanked to his right. He's going to roll to the far side, being chased, throwing it downfield, and just a little too much mustard on that ball. His receiver made a good jumping attempt for the play, was Jackson Hubert, but it did not get in his hands, and it will be 3rd down and 9. You know, Dave, you'd think when he's rolling more naturally to his right that he'd be able to get a better look or a better toss on that, better spiral, I guess.
Sometimes the ball sails a little bit on you, especially, if you're a young quarterback, and again, probably a converted running back. And I've not seen a quarterback wear the number 34. 33 is the last one I could think of, and I never saw him play, but he was the late, great Sammy Baugh.
Oh, yeah, slinging Sammy Baugh, Texas Christian's finest.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
Number 3 in the pros, I think he played for Washington, did he not?
Yes, he did. A horned frog and a redskin. He did it all, did he? 3rd and 9, ball at the 20-yard line.
Google that, kids.
Yeah, Google that. Get a history lesson. Henderson back there in the pistol.
Here he comes, up the middle.
Goes up the middle. Chase Lagawanda-Scott lifts him up like a wrestler and dumps him to the turf. What a great play by Chase. No regard for safety there. He just lifted him up and dumped him down at the 21-yard line. Give him a gain of 1, but 4th down and 9 upcoming, and if they're smart, they're going to punt. Placer, I believe, is going to call a timeout here and preserve this clock.
I think the Hillman did, and now they're doing an equipment check
on
one of the big linemen. It looks like Jordan Butler, their junior lineman there. Somebody's giving a check, one of the men in stripes. Not sure what they're going to do here.
Let's get you some updates. Colfax with a 14-0 lead over Bear River. That game in the second quarter. Rio Linda 7, Oakmont zip. That game in the first quarter. And it's Folsom football and everybody else in this area. 32-0 at Grant. First quarter score.
Statement down in Del Paso Heights. Wow. That team just keeps rolling people,
Well, I'm looking forward to them bringing a state championship and more attention to this area. I mean, we're seeing D1 guys come out of there. Jonah Williams, All-American tackle for Alabama, is going to be a first-round pick.
You don't have enough money to pay that guy.
He is a beast. He is an amazing
It
player.
looks like we are going to get a timeout on the field. Not sure who called this, however. I'm guessing it was the Hillman. Although they're coming over and talking to Eric Rodardi for some reason instead of Joey Montoya. Not sure what the explanation is. So some good games going on in this section. That surprises me, that 14-0 score.
Yeah, it certainly does, right? They're going to put 3 minutes back on the clock as we take a look at other games. Lincoln continuing to lead in Grass Valley, 14-0 Nevada Union. Dave, back when I was growing up and going to high school in the mid-90s, Nevada Union was a power. They have fallen off like no other. 34 straight losses in the both leagues they've been in, starting in the Sierra Foothill League and picking up 3 more here in the Foothill Valley League.
Well, there was a period of time they may have belonged in that SFL, but after the first year, realignment would have done them a whole lot of good. Just lower enrollment, the Grass Valley group not really being what it used to be, a lot of population leaving the area, and Dave Humphers left. They went away from the wing tee. They tried some different things. Just nothing was going to work. I just think that was a bad fit all the way around. I think they got into that league more on reputation than anything else. And it showed over the course of 34 consecutive league losses in 2 different leagues.
Here's the score that won't hold. Rockland 7, Del Oro zip first quarter. Promise you that one's going to change. 4th down and 7 here. Henderson back there in the pistol. They're not going to punt. This is a bad idea in my opinion. And Henderson now being chased. He will find enough room to get the first down, so I guess it is a good idea as he rambles up across the 30 and takes it out to the 34-yard line, 35-yard line. Gain of 13 for Elijah Henderson and a first down for Ponderosa. Boy, Dave, if they didn't get that, this game was over.
Well, I didn't think that he was seriously going to throw the ball down the field either. I think they sent everybody out, got the linebackers to take their drop to the mid-range, and then he knew he was going to run that ball from the get-go. I don't think that was ever intended to be a pass.
So the clock moves down to 2:39 left here. 1st and 10 for Ponderosa, moving right to left, trailing 35-6. 3 receivers here to the near side. Henderson back there in the pistol.
From Brad Bishop.
Bishop in there, and he's got an ankle, but he escapes from it, guns it out here, and then not able to pull it in is Uber. And that's part of the pressure from Bishop. That's also good coverage out there by Ian House. And everything looking real fluid here for Placer with this 35-6 lead. And again, Dave, as you mentioned, 3 timeouts left. So there's plenty of time left.
He had plenty, and the blitz was the thing that got them. Bishop flying in on the blitz, made him throw the ball before he wanted to. Ian House came up and made a good play. Could have gone either way. Another click sooner. House might have taken that one all the way back for a touchdown. Could have been a pick 6.
Coming up at halftime, Tarek Ansari back at our KAHI studios. Get you scores and updates from the National League Championship Series, NBA, and of course high school football from around the Sac Joaquin section. Henderson steps back up under center. 2nd down and 10. He's going to fake the handoff. Now rolling to the right side. And now he's going to try and take it down and move with it, but there's a face mask on the Hillman. Boy, I don't think Micah could help it. Yoakum grabbed him by the face mask and threw him down to the ground. And that is going to be...
That'll be the 15-yard variety,
I think it might be.
Yeah,
his head moved.
He reached up for him. He thought he was going to grab jersey. He got face mask instead. It looks... You could call it inadvertent. No, they're going to call it a hold.
A hold? I saw his entire helmet move to the near side, and Yoakum's kind of like, oops, and... Okay, they'll call it a hold.
All right, we'll take the hold rather than the flagrant face mask, but it's still going to be good enough for a first down.
Yeah, 1st down and 10 now up at the 45-yard line. Ball on the far hash for Ponderosa. By the way, Micah was out last week. Good to see him back in there this week. He is a beast out there. 21 tackles, 1.5 sacks, entering play tonight on the season. So now they will go with a double slot look. And Henderson back there in the pistol, takes a 3-step drop, throws it out here to the near side, dropped again. Boy, that's about the 3rd or 4th drop by Ty Uber tonight, and 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
That was a good play call, too, because Placer came in on the blitz, and that was a bubbles pass to the wideout that time. And he had some blockers out there with him. Looked like he was going to have a little room to move, but ball hit him in the hands. I think he looked up the field before he secured it.
Ready to go again here at the 45-yard line is Henderson. He'll be back in the pistol, single back to his right. Rolls to his right side. Pressure coming from the Hillman. Dakin's got him down. Big sack for Chandler Dakin. Taking him back to the 40-yard line. 5-yard loss will bring up 3rd down and 15. Boy, Chandler has been active. A team-leading 5 sacks entering play tonight. Tack on number 6 to lead all Hillman tacklers as far as sacks.
And again, keep an eye on that clock. 1:50, 1:49 with a 3rd down and long. They stop him here. Maybe they'll take that timeout and see if they can't get that 4th down stop.
So 3rd and 15, and again, Placer with 3 timeouts. They've got him spread out wide, empty backfield for Henderson. He's going to throw it out here, bubble screen. It's going to be caught. It's not going to be anywhere near the 1st down. Be roughly a gain of 3 or 4 as he dumped it out there to number 14, Hubert. And Hubert only able to take it up to the 44-yard line. So a gain of 4, and it will be now 4th down and
that timeout we were talking about.
11. And a timeout.
Yeah,
and why not?
Takes that timeout because, anything within, well, what did they score in that Rio Linda game? Wasn't there 35 seconds left in the half when they went all the way down on 2 plays?
Yeah.
And they got the first one to Lewis Fudge and the second one to O'Neal for the touchdown. That took all of 30 seconds. So, 1:26 is an eternity for Placer Hillman football.
Oh, one other note, because I had some fans ask about this. The reason why we saw Michael Stuck stay in with the 2nd-team offense 2 weeks ago was because the backup quarterback, Bender, was a little bit dinged up.
He had a hand injury.
He had a hand injury.
Joey said yesterday when I heard him talking with you.
And as Joey mentioned during the interview, we've got a super secret quarterback that we will not unleash unless we have to. You can guess at home who that might be.
It's not the same as the super secret punter, is it?
Right, or super secret probation if you're an Animal House fan. But I think that was double super secret.
Yeah, I think it was.
4th down and 11 here. Ball at the 44-yard line. If Placer can hold, they are going to be in great shape.
Showing blitz with
Henderson back there in the pistol to allow for the pressure.
Back out of it.
Takes a 3-step drop. Here comes that pressure. Now Henderson's going to pull it down.
Again.
And no, he pulls it up and throws it. He might have been able to run for the 1st down. Instead, he tried to dump it out there to his receiver.
I think he was across the line of scrimmage when he threw that football.
And either way.
And they didn't throw the flag on it because he was not behind the 45-yard line when he let that go. He was across the 45, almost to the 47 when he let that football go, but no flag. But again, 1:20 on the clock. Great field position for the Hillmen and a big lead. Oh, yeah, and they get the ball to start the 3rd.
That they do. Watch this offense work. Look, you got to get Stuck some experience in the 2-minute offense just in case you need to come crunch time in the playoffs. And they're going to get that because they're going to get the ball right now at the 44-yard line of the Bruins. Again, Placer moving from left to right, and they will get the ball to start the 2nd half. O'Neal checks in at receiver, 2 backs behind Michael.
It's on.
Handed out to Hans Grossman, making a nifty move.
Oh, my goodness.
And now cutting towards daylight, trying to drag some defenders with him, and he does all the way down inside the 15.
4 of them.
Hans Grossman taking it from the 44-yard line all the way down to the 14-yard line. A 30-yard gash again over left side. 1st and 10, Hillman.
I like the little move he made. He got into that secondary and he did like a sidestep, a double sidestep. Like boot scoot boogie to the left and then went forward again and got a big old bunch of yards.
Michael's going to get a chance to throw it. Rolls to the right side, throws it out here. The ball is caught. Making a move is Ian Howes. Nice spinner. Taking it from the 14 down to the 3-yard line. Let's see where they put it down. That might be the 5-yard line where he's actually tackled.
Looks like the 4.
They'll put it down at the 5, so a gain of 9. And it will bring up a 1st and goal for the Hillmen. And ready to go here. Hand it off.
Brad Bishop again.
Over the left side, into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillmen. Bradley Bishop having himself one heck of a night. Great block there by Bachman on the left side as well. And Placer's pushed this one out to a 41-6 lead with 32 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. Well, Glenn's got to be happy. Bradley's dad, who you had a chance to talk with before the game.
Oh, yeah.
The entire family here in attendance and watching him put on a show complimented by Hans Grossman's big gashes.
Wow, that took about 35 seconds.
So fast. How many 2- and 3-play drives does this team have this year, Dave? It's got to be multiple numbers at least. I mean, we're talking 10, 15 perhaps as Rhodey tacks it through. 42-6 our score here with 32 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Let's get a 30-second break in and we'll be back here on KAHI Radio.
This is Mike Yokin, class of 2020, defensive end, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI Radio.
Welcome back. Oakmont and Rita Linda all squared up at 7 apiece down there. Hey, we saw the Vikings last week. If they go with that three-back look that they had, Dave, I'm telling you, they could have moved the ball.
They could have moved the ball very well, and their defense is pretty stout if they're holding Rita Linda down like that. Another big booming kick.
Yeah, big booming kick off of Bond. By the way, that last touchdown is all touchdowns. The guy who gets more for his buck than anybody in this sponsorship, Christopher Kirchner, the owner of the Man Cave. 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. Thank you so much for sponsoring high school football here on KAHI Radio. All Hillman. I mean, Dave, when do you just start discussing the moving clock or the running clock early on in the third? Because Placer's going to get the ball back. You know what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're probably going to roll down and get it to 48. I hope they get 50 for our 50th game.
Absolutely.
We'll get a 50 burger for our 50th.
My partner and I celebrating our 50th broadcast together, at least on the football side. We've done some baseball and basketball as well, but this is our wheelhouse. This is what we live for Friday nights under the lights. All right, ready to go here with Henderson under center. Single back behind, they'll hand it off to Taylor. Taylor met, stood up by Chase Laguana. Scott who lifted him up like he was going to, he almost went Titanic there. He put him up for, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, it was either that or he was going to get the big souffle on him.
Yeah.
A suplex, if you will, from the wrestling days.
And I'm glad for his sake he did. A 1 yard gain there for Taylor, and that's going to run out this half, I'd assume, unless they want to throw it out there. All Placer in the first half. I'll be interested to see your statistics and the massive difference in stats on this one. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is halftime here on the Hill. The Hillman regular season home finale. All Placer 42-6, blowing out Ponderosa. We'll take a break, come back with Tariq Ansari at KAHI Studios, get you caught up on everything in the world of sports. Then we'll be back with the second half call here on KAHI Radio. Ready to go here. The running clock will not begin until Ponderosa concedes, but we're already in position for it with a 42-6 score, and Placer taking over on offense, moving from right to left in the second half. This kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More, 1221 Grass Valley Highway and the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Now go ahead, Dave.
Oh, yeah, and Hillman football threw it out there. Congratulations to Waylon Kozad and Zach Scott piling up scholarship offers, playing for Sierra College, so that's good stuff. Former Hillman continuing to play well at the next level.
This one's going to come to Arnell, the up back, and he's going to take it for a nice run from roughly his 22-yard line out to the 36. So first and 10 for the Hillman with 11:54 left here in the third quarter of play. Placer moving from left to right with a commanding lead. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, we'll keep an eye on the running clock. They can't make them do it till the fourth quarter, but I think if Placer puts this one out to 49-6, we might see it sooner than later. Stuck in company, ready to go. I believe they're going all first team here, at least for this first drive of the second half. And they got Grossman and Wiggum back there. Hans out to block in front. Jesse doing a good job of using those blocks and wiggling his way up for a 9-yard gain to the 45-yard line. So gain of 9 for Wiggum, running hard.
Yeah, Jesse picks up into the 50 numbers now. He had 88 a week ago, and that 43 and 9 is 52. And, of course, the 2 touchdowns on his first 2 touches. We'll keep you Ian Howes out there with that number 30 tonight. You know, these kids might decide to wear these numbers the rest of the year. They both played really well with this number switch.
Yeah, Wiggum will move into the slot, so a rare 2-receiver look.
Look out.
He's going to Grossman, and Grossman's got room into Ponderosa territory, barreling into the secondary and taking it from the Placer 45 all the way down to the Ponderosa 37-yard line. So a gain of 18 yards for Hans. Boy, Dave, I mean, we've got a 30-yard gain for him earlier tonight. We've got an 18-yard gain there. It's hard to tackle that young man.
Yeah, 127 on the night with a couple of touchdowns on just 9 carries for Grossman now. It's just fun to watch this Hillman offensive line, the way they get out and just just push people backwards.
Stuck's going to get a chance to throw. Nice 7-step drop. Now pressure coming. Michael eludes the pressure, throws it out there. The ball is caught for a first down and then driven out of bounds after the play is Lewis Fudge. Nice, tough, hard run there by Lewis, pushed out by Jake Llewellyn, but not before he takes it all the way down to the Ponderosa 21-yard line.
Got an injured Bruin out on the field.
16-yard gain there for Lewis Fudge, who has a walk-on offer at Rice University. Talking about Hillman. I know, I talk about Hillman getting offers in college, so there's another one that did.
Yeah, at Rice, favorite food in college.
Yeah, smallest Division I school by number of students at 5,000, and maybe you'll get a chance. I can't quite see the jersey number.
I think it was 50.
With the young
Might
man
be
from
Logan
Ponderosa. But the trainers are out there working on him. We'll get a break in. This looks like this might take 1 minute. So 10:48 left here in the third quarter, 42-6. Hillman back in a minute. The injury took a little less time than we thought, and as we return, Jesse Wiggum just emerged from the end zone after a 21-yard burst over the right side. 48-6 Placer. Good job of running there by Jesse, who would be starting if they didn't have Marshall Chapman and Oz Grossman in front of him. But another touchdown, his third of the night, as Ponderosa flies off sides before the extra point attempt. 48-6 Hillman, about to be 49 once they move this ball a half yard closer to the goal line. The injury looked a little bit more severe, so we apologize for the delay in getting you that commercial. Nobody's fault there. It happens. Number 50 was down on the field, writhing in pain. That is Logan Whalen, but then able to miraculously get up and kind of scamper off the field. So happy to see that. We don't want to see injuries during a football game, and even happier if you're a Hillman fan following that 21-yard rushing touchdown by Jesse Wiggum as they get ready to set up for the extra point. That touchdown is all touchdowns brought to you by the Man Cave. Check them out on Facebook and at 923 Lincoln Way. Thank you, Christopher Kirchner, for sponsoring high school football. Zach Brody splits the uprights, 49-6. Placer with the lead, 10:37 left in the third quarter, back in 30 seconds.
This is Kyle Christensen, class of 2020, center and long snapper, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
4 plays, 64 yards, a minute 27 off the clock. Caffin off with a 21-yard Jesse Wiggum touchdown run. Wiggy's third touchdown of the night. He's got 73 yards. If Joey calls off the dogs, I'm going to be upset because he needs 27 more to get to the century mark. Then that put 3 Placer backs over 100 again this evening.
Ready to kick it off is Brom, or is that going to be Rhodey? That time
Rhodey.
it was Rhodey. So we got 2 kickers here working for the Hillman. Either way, Ponderosa fields it at their 10-yard line, and going across the far side of the field is Jordan Iodens, who takes it up across the 25, and they'll officially put it down, actually inside the 25 at the 24-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 Bruins, moving from right to left here in this third quarter, trailing hopelessly 49-6, all Placer here on the hill. Dave, as you talked about earlier in the game, this isn't a slouch team coming in. 6-2 on the year, 1-2 in the league, but they've lit up the scoreboard many times over the course of this year.
Well, and again, they're out without their number 1 running back, and I'm going to say, was it 40?
44,
Jake Chaney is out. Yeah, he broke a bone in his shoulder area.
All right, so Henderson ready to go. It's a handoff, and going right up the middle, up the gut, and met by the Hillman is going to be Taylor. So Taylor picks up a gain of 2. Placer starting to make wholesale changes on the defensive side of the ball. 2nd down and 8 upcoming.
And it was interesting to hear Joey with you yesterday talking about how he'll play his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string guys for the second half of most ball games, and the other teams continue to play their A team.
Yeah, that shows you.
He almost seemed a little chagrined, or not chagrined, but a little upset about it.
There you go. All right, handoff this time going to number 21 over the far side. That's Dylan Humbird with his first carry of the night. And he's going to take it up near the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9 for Dylan Humbird and bring up a 1st down there for Ponderosa. He's number 21. So 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. Taking a little bit of time to get the play in is Elijah Henderson. And we'll tell you about the changes on defense as we have time here for Placer. This is where Dave and I have to do our most work. We've memorized everybody, but then you start making a bunch of changes. It takes us a little time to adjust. All right, Henderson back under center. He's going to hand it to Humbert again, or to 21 again, which is, Humbert. And Humbert takes it from the 35 up to the 36, so just a gain of 1 there.
So he's got 10 in his first 2 carries of the night, does Dylan Humbert. Humbert, a sophomore, 5'10", $175. Good size for a sophomore, playing up on the varsity squad here for these Bruins. 9:22 on the clock. They have not decided to run the clock yet. So they have the opportunity to ask the coaches on the other side, hey, you guys want to go ahead and run the clock? And I think Pondo's saying, no, we want to get some game time in.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, they've got some meaningful games to play, and they most likely got to pick up that second league win next week, or they may not make the playoffs.
Henderson is going to hand the ball off, coming across left tackle, and they're going to stick with Humbert again. He takes it up to the 37-yard line, so a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, Evan Robinson come in for the tackle that time.
All right. Oh, and a shout out here because our pal Brad and our junior engineer Lila's playing some volleyball tomorrow morning. Is it El Dorado High School or what school is it? What's the name of your school? Gold Trail. Go Gold Trail tomorrow morning. Little junior high school volleyball, and she's also becoming a junior engineer, the future of electronics and radio broadcasting. So
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
3rd down and 7 for Henderson. Empty backfield. 3 receivers up top. Now they'll motion one of those receivers. Fake the handoff. Henderson's going to keep it himself. Run up the middle and then be dragged down by the Hillman short of the first down. Lead tackler on that play, number 58. I don't have that on my roster, but he takes it up to the 41-yard line. And it will bring up a 4th down and 4. Mitchell Moore made the tackle.
So he's got 77 yards on 11 carries now, does Elijah Henderson. And again, the focal point of the offense between he and Colin Taylor. You can see how this offense likes to run. It's either going to be Henderson running it or Taylor. And once upon a time, a few games ago, Jake Chaney was probably the other guy that did a lot of the damage. But you take a third of your offense away, and you can see it's just a little bit tougher to go for these Bruins.
All right, under center, 4th and 4.
Again.
Here's Henderson. Going to fake the handoff and now roll to the far side. Plenty of time. He can either bring it down or throw it out there, and he does. And that ball is not caught. I said he threw it out there, and he did not make the catch. Did number 12. Incomplete, intended for Colin Taylor. Placer will take over on downs, leading 49-6 with 7:47 left here in the third quarter of play. And we'll see if we see some new Hillman faces on the offense. I'm sure we will.
Well, let me go to the bottom of my list here and guess that we're going to probably see, I don't know, Drew Vincent going to come in, maybe some Mason.
Sam Bender's in a quarterback.
Well, there you go. That'll tell you everything you need to hear.
And
I see Drew Vincent in there as halfback.
Kane Martin at receiver. Mason's in there as well, along with Vincent.
Jesse Jordan's also in the game.
Mitchell Moore playing right tackle. Number 54 at center, Michael Callis. And so again, Joey giving players a chance to play, and that's the name of the game. You come out here and practice hard, and you get an opportunity to play. Speaking of playing hard, the Colfax Falcons with a 21-7 lead at halftime over Bear River. The PVL title on the line there.
And he dropped the ball again.
Ball is dropped on the snap. Hillman able to dive back on it and recover.
That's the second week in a row Bender's dropped that initial snap.
So that's going to be, it's up at the 40. They give him a yard on that.
Yeah, he grabbed the ball and fell forward, and maybe give him maybe a half yard, but we'll give him credit for a full yard on that.
Del Oro trailing Rockland, a shocking score, 13-0 Thunder. Late in the first half of play. Dave mentioned 2 blocked field goals already by the Thunder earlier.
Which is hard to believe because, Del Oro's got that kicker that bombed that 50-some yarder last year for that game winner against Lincoln.
Bender under center. And it's going to be a delayed handoff. Kind of spun his back around trying to get that exchange in there.
That play was messy from the start. I think Bender went the wrong way, and when he spun back around, he wasn't sure where the running back was going to be. It took the timing off a little bit.
Drew Vincent for no gain. Capital Christian, a team we may see a little bit later in the season, if I do say, 28-7 lead over Rio Americano at halftime.
So Oakmont trailing, Lincoln looking pretty good at this point.
All right, Bender ready to go, and he's going to hand it off. And moving his way forward is Jesse Jordan, taking it up to the 35-yard line, or 36-yard line. Gain of 4 for Jesse Jordan.
They're going to have to kick it away.
And it will bring up a 4th down and 5 for Placer.
Yeah, so they managed to pick up 5 on 3 downs there, but looks like they're going to go for it here. I don't think they're going to bring the punt team in.
Well, maybe they will. And it looks like Placer is going to, well, they're making a wholesale rotation here if they aren't going to kick it. No, they will now. And they're going to give Bond a chance to kick.
Oh, they're going to kick it away. So the place kicker that's been kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to get his eligibility back from transferring in.
5'11" junior listed at $190. And he's got a booming leg from what I heard in the preseason. Good to see him out there. I mean, you can't have too many kickers, right? And Placer may have got Ponderosa to jump, perhaps. He got a flag down there.
No,
It's a
it's
delay
too much
game.
time on the Hillman, so
Yeah.
they'll push him back another 5. Well, it's probably a good thing to have this kid come in late and get a little bit of time, as a lot of the second teamers do, because Zach Rody's a senior. So he'll be gone next year. You got Bond sitting there in the wings. We already seen this leg strength on his kickoffs. We haven't got to see him kick it from a snap yet, but judging from the kickoffs, kid's got power.
All right, so finally Ponderosa sends in a return man, Adam Schumann, who awaits the punt from Bond back at his own 10-yard line. It's a good snap. Bond will have plenty of time to line this up. High kick into the Auburn Knight, a little bit short, and takes a Ponderosa bounce before Placer downs it near the 21-yard line, where the Bruins will take over 1st and 10, trailing 49-6.
It's going to be hard to believe this, but Nevada Union most likely going down to defeat again tonight. If you mentioned this before, I apologize. 35-8 at the half, Lincoln over Nevada Union.
Ball will be put down at the 22-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Ponderosa, moving from right to left, trailing 49-6, and ready to go here on offense. See if they make any changes. If they do, it's going to be hard, and this is the last time I'll say it. Coaches, if you're out there, do your kids a favor. They work hard. Put their statistics on maxpreps.com so the whole section can see them, and we don't have to guess as to who's who on each team. Back under center is Henderson, 2 backs behind. 2 receivers to the near side. It's going to be a straight ahead handoff, and going back to the well, which they've used these last couple of drives, Dylan Humbird taking it up to the 25-yard line, so a gain of 3.
So he picks up 3 there, and he's been the workhorse this last couple of drives since he's come into the ballgame. Not sure where he was for the first half.
Yeah, Mitchell Moore and Evan Robinson helping out on the tackle. 2nd and 7 now as we tick under 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So we'll talk.
Andy Alvarez back there in the defensive backfield. I don't know if we've called his number yet this year. Number 2.
Yeah, he ran the ball, I think, earlier in the season, but I'm not sure we've seen him on deep. Henderson under center. It's going back to Humbird, trying to find some room across the far side, and does. Takes it from the 25 up to the 28-yard line. So a gain of 3 there, and the tackle on the play made by Jackson Sabins new into the contest for the Hill. Four and a half minutes left here now.
Go ahead.
Next week, folks, you're going to want to be with us. We're going to a place where, quite frankly, we're not as welcome as we are at other venues, as Placer and Lincoln are going to get it
That's an
on
understatement.
with the Foothill Valley League Championship likely on the line, looking at the scores right now, and I don't think we'd have it any other way. Pitch out to Humbird here, trying to find the edge, and he won't.
Great tackle.
Great job of tackling there by Placer. Ryan
Ryan
Arnell, I
Arnell,
believe,
yeah.
on that.
Saved a first down.
Yeah, he took it up for 2 yards, but it's going to be 4th down now and 2 for Ponderosa, who we
They'll
know
be
is
going.
going.
Yeah, they'll go for it here. Although they're running in some other guys. Maybe not. Maybe they are going to decide to kick it away. As we approach the 3:30 mark here in quarter number 3, knowing full well that as soon as that hits 3 zeros, it'll be a running clock in the 4th quarter. And they are going to kick it away.
Well, they line up to kick at least, and we know that Henderson can do both. He will roll to his right, kick it down there. Placer with no return man as it takes a Hillman bounce.
Came back the other way
Yeah,
quite a
it
bit.
did. Yes, it did.
I think checked up at the 20 and rolled backwards to about the 28. I think that's where we were going to spot it.
So a break for Placer as the Hillman continue to rotate in players here, ready to go now. 1st down and 10. The ball will be placed at their own 29-yard line, and everybody getting a chance here. We'll keep an eye out for some of these. Again, they're backups, but on another team, they'd probably be playing quite a bit. We talked about Jesse Wiggum all night. He's out now, but Jacob Mason, Jesse Jordan, Drew Vincent, and company. We'll probably see a little Arnell as well. 1st and 10, Placer moving left to right, ball in the far hash. It's going to be a slow delayed handoff going to number 22, Jacob Mason, and Mason able to take it out for a gain of 2 to the 31-yard line before he's met by the Bruins, including Jake Griffiths in on that tackle.
And these are kids that are most likely going to get some good playing time next year. Mason's just a junior, 5'10", 165. He'll get into that off-season conditioning. Don't be surprised to see him push in 175, 180, much the way that Marshall Chapman put on some bulk this year.
Boy, did he? Didn't he, though? I mean, Marshall seeing him in person, it's like, wow, you have been working, eating, and you are looking bigger. All right, so here a slow play developing.
Mason
now
again.
coming around the near side, it is Mason, and a good hard run there as Jacob takes it up to the 37-yard line. So a gain of 6 will put it in a very manageable 3rd down and 2 here for Placer. And again, Dave, you're just trying to run the clock at this point because you're going to get to the running clock, and this fourth quarter should take in real time, well, 12 minutes. So
It should take just about 12 minutes. Yeah, we're hoping anyway. So more guys coming into the game. Nathan Russell. It was funny. I was watching as they did the national anthem. 84 Russell comes out. I thought he was almost as big as Hans Grossman. Then I realized Hans had his head down.
Hans had his head down.
And when Hans stood up again, oh yeah, there was a 6 to 8 inch difference.
Going over the left side for 5 yards is Jesse Jordan picking up that Hillman first down as the clock ticks under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. In fact, getting up to the 42-yard line. Good job of running there. And they're going to mix it up. I mean, I like it. Get all these guys carries. You never know when you're going to need them.
Yeah, Austin Mater just came back into the ballgame for some strange reason.
Okay.
Pretty surprised by that, although he's one of those guys that just doesn't like to come out.
Exactly. Just loves the game of football. Loves the physicality.
Oh, another good
It's going
run.
to be a handoff. And
Gut
again,
punch.
nice cut, nice run by Jacob Mason, bringing it across midfield and into Ponderosa territory. Oh, 32, check that. So Jesse Jordan taking it from his own 42 down to the 43-yard line.
Gain of
15.
Thank you. Math is not my forte. That's why I'm a broadcaster.
That's exactly.
And I need my abacus.
And the best stat man in the business, folks, as
Like
well
I
as an
listen closely to what you tell me and I write it down.
excellent color commentator. Nobody knows his formations like Malibu Dave II, if you will. Handoff going over right guard and moving his way forward again. Number 22, Jacob Mason, taking it from the Ponderosa 43 down to the 36-yard line. So a gain of 7. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 upcoming with a minute left here in the third quarter. Hey, during the break headed to the fourth, we'll just send it back to the studio. We got all our commercials in. Tarek Ansari, get you caught up on what's happening in high school football here. We've got some good games going on tonight. And eventually we're going to see a good game, Dave. It may not be until late November, but we will see one here.
Well, we saw a good game earlier this year. Unfortunately, the Hillman weren't involved. It was that Granite Bay
That's
game that
true.
we did. That thing went overtime.
And we love every minute of it. So here's a delayed handoff going to Vincent, and the line able to stack him up there, and no gainer. Tackle on that one by another mystery man here on the roster. Let's see if they have it. Nope. All right. So 3rd down and 3 upcoming. I'm borrowing Dan's spotter here because we're so deep into the roster that I don't even know what to say. I looked at video highlights for these guys. There weren't many, so hard to figure out who's who.
That should be the end of the quarter right
That
there.
is the end of the quarter. Tarek, why don't you take us away here? 49-6 Placer. Let's find out what's going on around the world of sports. We've got fourth quarter action here. We'll have a running clock with the Hillman leading 49-6, and with the ball in a 3rd and short here. Casey and Dave with you, celebrating broadcast number 50. Always fun working with you, Bart. We've traveled up and down this state. We've been in Compton, we've been up in Colfax, and we love being
We've been
here.
to Reno for crying out loud.
Home on the hill, watching Placer blow out yet another opponent, as taking over the right side is Jesse Jordan, moving it
Plenty
from
for
the
that first down.
36-yard line down to the 33. And it is a first down, and because they're having breast cancer awareness tonight, the Gold Mine not doing the traditional green chalk, they got pink chalk.
I like
It
it.
just flew. I love it.
Yeah. LeBron would be proud.
Yeah, he would.
Almost as proud as he is of the new Sprite can.
Yeah, well, you know that score from last night's game, if you're a Laker fan, I'm just letting you know your team is going to lose like that a lot. And that is by giving up a ton of points, scoring just a few less. I mean, I don't know if you saw any of that, Dave, but Portland was making it rain from the three-point line. It was kind of embarrassing.
That's kind of like Portland can do, though. You know, they got that Oaktown boy that just lights them up from 3.
1st and 10 for the Hillman. Bender up there under center, split backs behind. It's going to be a handoff to Mason. No, actually, check that. That's going to Jordan coming around the left side and able to keep pushing that pile. Good job of hard running there. Taking it from the 33 down to the 23. It's going to be a first down, 10-yard gain.
That was Jordan again.
Yes, it was.
Jesse Jordan with the 10-yard pickup. So he's had a good drive so far. 35 yards on 5 carries. Seven a crack. That's good by anybody's standard.
So first down for the Hillman. And Dave, I mean, in honor of 50 and a burger for us, we'd certainly like to see a burger put on the board. Placer's in position to do so down at the 23-yard line of Ponderosa, leading 49-6, moving from right to left here in this fourth quarter. And Bender slips on the play. It looked like he was going to give it over to Jordan, but he put his knee down back at the 34-yard line. So actually, excuse me, that's going to be the 26-yard line. So it'll be a loss of 3 there for Bender and bring up a second down and long.
Yeah, more
I think he
wholesale changes on
yeah.
the line. Jaden Desrochers comes in to play some tackle, looks like, for the Hillman. Also into the game out of wide out is Kane Martin, as Bender comes back in with the play from Coach Montoya.
Second down and 13. Again, split backs behind Bender. And this time going to Drew Vincent. He's got a blocker out there. Vincent inside the 20,
nice.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown, the Burger on the board. Drew Vincent takes it in from 26 yards out, and Placer extends this lead to 55-6 as the team celebrates in the end zone. Lineman lifting Drew up in the air to celebrate his touchdown. Great job of running there, and it is his third of the year.
Wow, his third touchdown for Vincent. Nice run that time from 26 to throw the 50 burger up. And the Hillman Nation says, yeah, thank you very much, second team guys. We look forward to watching you play a whole bunch next year.
All right, so Rhodey will have the extra point. Good hold by Dakin. Good snap by Christensen. We'll just keep it here, Dave. 56-6 as the clock runs with 9.5. All right, so Alex Baum is going to kick this one off. And I'm going to get to know Mr. Vaughn a little better through some video research this week, and we'll tell you all about him next week. I know he's got an ability to kick the ball deep. This one's going to be a squibber fielded at the 10-yard line and coming out across the 20, 25.
They go again, giving up that big gasher
on 40. Bond's got to make the tackle, and he can't.
Misses.
Heading into Hillman territory, continue to move downfield as Schumann
got him out.
Finally chased out of bounds inside the 25. Excellent job by Drew Vincent to run down there and catch up with him. But Ponderosa will have the ball all the way down at the Hillman 20.
Got a flag back here
line.
at the 38. I'm not sure what it's about. It might be a sideline warning or a sideline foul against the Hillman, possibly. I don't know what they called back there, but that pink flag. And again, using the pink flags for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, sometimes hard to see. A lot harder to see last week. It was holding against the Pondo kids, so that big run back's going to get marched off 15 back from the 38. Those pink flags, even on the grass field up here, a little difficult to find.
Okay, a little NBA score here. The Utah Jazz leading the Golden State Warriors. Get this halftime score. 81-69 at halftime. Jazz leading the Warriors in Utah.
It just means the Warriors will come out and start bombing threes in the third quarter, and they'll probably outscore them 40-8 in the third and be right back in it.
Filling a request for our pal Jimmy Wall listening, one of Auburn's finest. See Jimmy around the KAHI studios, and he called me today and asked that we give the score and that Dan Wilson give the score as well, because I'm sure he's scrambling around here at Lefevre. Again, the final regular season home game for Placer. Looking at the way things set up, you don't want to project too far ahead, but the Hillmen should be assured of probably 2 home games in the playoffs in Division III. Of course, it's all going to come down to next week in Lincoln, looking at the scores that they hold, with the Zebras having a blowout win right now.
Either way, they're going to end up getting a new quarterback in the game.
So that's going to be Uber keeping it, taking it from his own 29 out to the 35. So that'll be a gain of 6. And bring up a second down and 4.
Well, no matter what happens next week, Placer will have the first round bye. Win or lose, they will not play on November the 2nd. Their first playoff game will be November the 9th. So they'll finish the season next week on the road at Lincoln, have a week off to rest, recuperate, and see who it's going to be coming to the house.
So back under center once again is Uber. And this time he's going to hand it off to Dermott, I think it is, number 21, going over the left side there.
Yeah,
Dylan Humbred taking it up to the 41-yard line, so a gain of 5 and a first down for Ponderosa.
I think Pondo would be just happy to score another touchdown here.
I'll put it up at the 42, so give him an extra yard, and the clock continues to run here. And I'll have to double check that rule. I guess you can't stop it on kickoffs. Obviously, we have to do what the referee says. That's the way it works, but you might just be better served. You just want to see somebody get hurt late, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
All right, so 1st and 10, ball at the 41. It's going to be a fake here, and now keeping it himself, the new quarterback into the game, number 3, as he mentioned, Ty Uber, taking it up to the 45. So a gain of 4 for Ponderosa will bring up a second down and 6.
I wonder if the guys, when they go to tackle him, if he drags them along, does he get to charge them for that Uber ride?
Maybe he needs a lift. Got our buddy Nick Pecoraro here with us, the Auburn Journal sports editor. Make sure you check him out online. Get a write-up on this game a little bit later tonight at NM Pecoraro. We'll be retweeting it as well at KAHI Sports. Here's 2nd down and 6. Uber
missed the
again is going
halfback.
to keep it. He missed the halfback. And Placer able to take advantage. Gang tackle had come in there, led by number 22, Jacob Mason. No gain on the play.
Yeah, he was looking for somebody there, just couldn't find him.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt,
Kind of
but
took one way, expected the back.
I just want to point out it is a 50 burger officially, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Well, do you know where you can get that 50 burger? Out of curiosity, for the 50 broadcast.
Go ahead, tell us.
Mel's Diner, Luther Road in Auburn. Just wanted to point that out right there. 50 burger, 50 broadcast. You know, Mel's Diner right there. Just had to point it out. Sorry. Back to the game.
I like it. The Bacon Blue for Dave, of course, and Mel's Diner is our sponsor of the player of the game, who we'll get to here in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Uber back there in the pistol, rolling to the near side, and just throws that ball right into the turf to bring up a 4th down. And good job plugging there. Why don't we plug some more sponsors? Thank you, Robinson Sand and Gravel, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, River Valley Community Bank, Special Tees and Sports, who made these nifty polos we're wearing.
We love our polos.
Auburn Ford, the Newcastle Area Business Association, the United States Air Force, Truck Smart, Depot Bay, Matt Spokley for Auburn City Council, and of course our kickoff sponsor, Auburn Trophies, our Hillman touchdown sponsor, the Man Cave.
And again, yummy food over there at Mel's. Somebody's taking home that Mel's player of the game here in just a bit.
They will punt. Will Ponderosa. Placer, nobody back there to receive it. Just let it.
This one takes a little better
Oh,
balance.
it does. It goes inside the Hillman 10 and dives right around the 9-yard line. So 5.5 minutes left here with the running clock. Placer up by 50 with the 50 burger. And I like that, Tark, mixing in our sponsors with the plugs. And Dave and I deserve a burger. We actually posted.
We actually had a burger before the game.
Yeah, we posted a picture of us having a burger here at the stadium. Delicious snack bar burgers for the 50 burger. You can see that photo at KAHI Sports. And do follow us if you're a Twitter user. We've got the latest on Placer football every day. And, you know, I like updating that page. I like what Tark does as well with the scores. You have a way with words, my friend. We'll give you credit on that. And we do enjoy. He always is referencing classic rock bands. I think Genesis has had like 18 mentions since we started.
19 actually.
On KAHI Sports.
Almost
19. Okay.
Almost as many mentions as Phil Collins is old.
Oh, gosh. All right, so the handoff, not much doing there for Drew Vincent. He will pick up a yard out to the 11-yard line. Actually, gain a 2 for Drew Vincent. Bring up 2nd down and 8.
Well, he's got a 26-yard touchdown run tonight to get him into that 50-burger territory. So he's our 50-burger player of the game, but he's not our player of the game.
Yeah, well, you got 2 choices probably, and I'm going to lean on you, Part, but I know you've got a couple of favorites, and we'll see who picks
and
the
I know
cut.
which way I'm going because it was so close a week ago.
Yeah.
And if McElroy hadn't busted out that dance after the sack, it could have gone the other way. But that dance after the sack is what, again, pushed us over last week in Collins' favor. That and the big guy rumbling for the big touchdown.
Jesse Jordan takes it for a gain of 4 up to the 15 over right tackle. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for Placer as the clock ticks down under 4 minutes left to go here with the Hillman leading by 50.
Things falling out of the sky?
Yeah,
that wasn't Coach Saban's, was it?
No, Saban's left a while ago.
Okay.
So,
oddly enough, we didn't see any Pondo coaches over here tonight. Usually they're down at the far end or they're up on the roof. I don't think maybe they spotted from the far side of the field.
it's possible. Well, hey, those bleachers are looking good over there for the fans too, Dave. You mentioned that on a few broadcasts. As Placer looks to pick up
fumble.
first down, fumble. Ball's out. Big pile up. Ponderosa signaling they have the ball. We'll see who emerges from the pile.
And they can scramble around there for a while. They got 3 minutes and 25 seconds and counting. So it was a fumble.
Yeah, number 52, Jared Shuddy, emerging from the pile with the ball. So Ponderosa now has it. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bruins, looking to make this score a little prettier at the end as they've got the ball at the Hillman 16-yard line, moving from left to right with a running clock. Oh, look at this. All right.
Mama Mel up here snapping some photos.
Yeah, we like that. Thank you, Mel. Of course, she's a staple up here in Auburn. We love when we see our Hill Moms up here at the game, doing a great job supporting
awesome
this team.
Hill Moms.
The entire city of Auburn doing a great job propelling this thing forward, and we are just having a blast. Looking forward to the finale next week. This one is going to go over to the left side and taking it down. Dylan Hubbard takes it in from 12 yards out for the touchdown. Touchdown Bruins, and that was from 16 yards out. Check that. Humbird with
There it
his
is.
first touchdown of the game. And they used him quite a bit in the second half with some success, Dave. Now 55-12 our score. Likely going to be the final here with just a little over 2 minutes left. And once again, that darn white hat calling for us to stop the running clock. There's really no purpose to that, but
I don't get it.
do what you
Now
got to
he's
do.
saying run it again.
All right, so Gabe Lopez looking to tack on the extra point. If you're keeping an eye at home, folks, this Placer defense has not been allowing very many points here in league play, and we certainly like that. That one is going to be crept over the crossbar by
That ball
Perez.
spinning sideways?
It looked like it was.
Yeah, it was knuckling kind of sideways, but still made it through. It counts.
So 56-13, our final. Now, as I was saying,
Not our final.
or, I mean, not our
2
final.
minutes
Yes,
to
2
go.
minutes. It will be our final. Coming up this Thursday, 5:30. Thursdays on the Hill. I'm going to see if we can't get our player of the game back in studio, who Dave will announce here in just a little bit. We're also going to visit with some other players. Thursday night, 7 o'clock, our KAHI Coaches Show. Highlights from this very football game, an interview with head coach Joey Montoya, and our player interviews as well. And then next Friday night, join us live from Lincoln. I'm sending Dave out early so he can get the brunt of the anger. By the time I get there, I just slide in and start talking. But Placer Hillman at the Lincoln Zebras. The Hillman destroyed Lincoln last year in a game that decided the Pioneer Valley League Championship. And you know those boys are going to be motivated, led by the gunning arm of Tommy Turner. Should be a heck of a football game out in Lincoln next week. Why don't you come on out, bring your little transistor radio. You get the best of both worlds. See it live and enjoy the play-by-play. If you want play-by-play of tonight's game, it'll be up by Monday morning at KAHI.com under the audio on demand link at the right-hand part of the screen. Here is the kickoff for Ponderosa. It's going to be a squibber going across the 20-yard line and fielded there by
Jorge?
Maldonado. Jorge busting up the sidelines and running it up across the
I'm
40.
not sure about that hit, too.
I'm not either.
It's kind of late, but okay.
Well, Jorge's okay with it. He's a player. He
Well,
doesn't mind.
and just was it 2 weeks ago, or was it last week against Oakmont that he took that one? No, it was against Rio. He took it up the sideline and just blew through a hole. And if not for a holding penalty, he would have taken it almost to the house. It would have been a 60, 70-yard return. So Jorge, when he picks it up and gets that head of steam going, he really likes to move.
So 2 minutes left here for the Hillmen. Couple plays away. In fact, they might be able to go victory formation. They should be able to, right, Dave, as far
think
as
so.
the clock works.
Maybe 3 knees might do it, as long as they stay in that huddle for just a little bit longer.
Well, real quick, Rockland still leads Del Oro 13-7. That game's at halftime. Rio Linda pulling away from Oakmont 23-7 in the third quarter as Bender takes a knee. Folsom blowing out Grant 46-7. They called off the Dogs, to use a pun, in the fourth quarter. Lincoln all over Nevada Union in Grass Valley, 44-16 is the score there. Colfax get 27-14. Capital Christian leading Rio Americano 35-7 in the third.
And now as we approach the 1 minute mark, they are going to definitely kneel into that position. Don't even need to take a delay of game, and even if they do, they shouldn't stop the clock. So they might as well just wave the white hat and say, let's call it a ball game. Don't know what they're really waiting for here. Maybe to try to get it down to where they don't have to take that second snap. That pretty much ought to do it.
Yeah, let's credit the quarterback there. Carson Espadal getting to take the victory formation knees. Nothing wrong with that. Number 11 into the game, playing quarterback, and there will be one more, and this thing will be over.
Got to get it inside of 40 seconds, I think.
And there it is.
Maybe they'd run it all the way down to 30 before they go. You know, last time I saw a clock that actually showed the play clock was in a high school playoff game back in '96, and it was Colfax, and the clock started malfunctioning, and I think that led to some interesting scenarios in that game that Colfax ended up losing that section championship. Same day Del Oro won one. That was a long time ago in a land far away.
There's the final knee of the game. Our final here in the
Let me roll the
regular
dice
season.
and see what I come up with as a player of the game. How about a lucky number 7?
Yes.
Jesse Wiggum, our player of the game, our Mel's Diner player of the game. Don't forget, take that ticket from tonight's game, either tonight or tomorrow into Mel's. You get 10% off. And Jesse Wiggum, our player of the game, Jesse, with 5 carries for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. First 2 touches of the night, a 33-yard touchdown and a 10-yard touchdown. Probably could have been our player of the week a week ago, if not. McElroy and
So that's it. Placer moves on, 9-0 on the season, 4-0 in the Foothill Valley League, and if this score holds up, which it looks like it will, Lincoln is now blowing out Nevada Union. We've got a Foothill Valley League outright title on the line next week up in Lincoln, so you can join us for that. Want to thank our field photographer, Thaddeus Tosti, Also our engineers, Brad Smith and his niece Lila. Appreciate you folks helping us out there. And for my broadcast partner, Dave Rosenthal, I'm Casey Freelove. Another week, another big win for the Placer Hillman here, right here on Friday Night Football in the Foothills 16. Is that the last one there? 56-16, the final, as they stand and salute the student section here. And what we'll do is we'll send it back to Tariq Ansari at the KAHI studios. They've got post-game coverage for you. We'll talk to you next week at 6:45, live from Lincoln, with the Foothill Valley League title on the line. Have a great weekend, everybody. You've been listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Forward, forever, backward, never. Forever, backward, never.